Hey guys, back today working on the MAME cabinet. This is my friend Rod.
Hi.
We're going to work on the MAME cabinet today. We're going to use this piece of 2x4 plywood, try to make a new bottom for the MAME cabinet. And I originally got that piece to redo the front, but it's about 1/8 inch, not wide enough. And instead of, minding the cabinet a little bit, since those pieces up there are exactly 2 foot wide, I'm just going to use it for the new bottom. And I've got a 4x4 sheet that I can cut the new front out of. But anyway, we're gonna get this set over on the old work table over there and snap us a line, take a measurement first here, and cut that piece off and get a new bottom in there, and we'll probably put it in with some screws. So we'll be back in a second and maybe show you the process of making the cut. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and make our marks now, and we measured out the bottom of the piece that we need. It's 30 inches exactly. So we've got the piece of wood lined up, and there's a slight bow on this end of the wood, and we're going to go ahead and cut this part away and keep the part that has no bow to it so we can have it as flat as possible. Go ahead and run our tape measure out. Make a mark at 30 inches. And we'll use our framing square. Try to get as close on our mark as possible. Yeah, got a little bit on the other side, we'll finish off. There it is, marked. Okay, here guys, we're setting the depth of the saw, and if you look right here, we've got the tooth just barely protruding on the other side of the thickness of the wood, and that's pretty good there. You don't want to go too deep, you don't want to go too shallow. If you go too shallow, you have to recut your piece of wood again. Okay, it's a pretty good fit, guys. We got just a slight bit of wood there that sticks out a little proud of the edge of the cabinet. This right here is just about flush, so the cut I made by hand was not perfect. What I think we can probably do is come back and cut that edge that I cut. That's the cut edge up there. Maybe make a very, very slight pass across it with my table saw, my new table saw, and maybe just true that line up a little bit and recheck it, and that should take care of any problems. Okay guys, this extra piece that we cut off of that is probably going to work really good for support for the new monitor that goes in. Of course, this was where the old 19-inch monitor got its support from. We can use these, or I'll probably come back with some 1x4s and mount them in a similar fashion, but they'll be angled down like that instead of up. And when they're angled down, the monitor can rest in there on it, and we can bolt it down to it, and the screen will sit forward to about maybe 3/4 of an inch from the front. But the idea is this will sit inside, and that'll be what your monitor rests on. It's just going to be pitched down at a downward angle, and it'll probably drop a couple of inches because that monitor is so large. But this will probably be a piece we saved to do that with. Okay guys, what we ended up doing, we snapped a new true line across the edge of this plywood, and if we follow this line carefully with our saw, it should take care of the problems where one edge was sticking out just a little bit on the back of the cabinet. And to make it a little better than doing a freehand cut, we've taken the extra piece of wood, turned it to the factory edge. Now this is the piece we cut off the other side of this, and we've clamped it down with 2 clamps on each side, and we adjusted it so it's the proper width, that the base of the circular saw will follow right along this line and give us a true cut all the way across. And it shouldn't matter if my hands are a little shaky or I get offline. So we're going to try that right now. Okay guys, I didn't anticipate the amount of tear out that was going to happen when I cut that close to the edge, and I haven't cut plywood a whole lot, but if you take a look, we have a lot of chips in the wood across through here. This is going to be on the inside of the cabinet, and this is going to be the part that's real close to the front, the way I was going to plan on putting it in, because this side looked much nicer than the other side. The other side has got some knot holes and stuff in there, and it's got some of the ink on here, which, you know, this is going to be painted black eventually on the inside of the cabinet. I'm probably not going to leave it natural, but I really wanted to use the other side because it looks so good. So there's a couple of things I could do. I could put it in there as is, and to be honest, you would probably still never see it because it's going to be all the way at the front of the cabinet. Or I could put, you know, some wood filler in there and then come back and sand it. Or I could put a small, maybe 1.5 to 2 inch trim piece right here when this is fastened into the cabinet, and it would just cover that little bit up. So that may be the route I go. I'll find out as I install it and start making the other pieces. But right now, let's test fit this and see if we have a better fit. It's pretty good. Oh yeah. That's just about perfect. It's just as true as it was before on this side, and this side is almost perfectly flush. So looks really good. Just a little bit of chipping in the front. Like I said, what I can do, I can come back right here when this piece is extended down and put a small piece of trim across through here, and you'll never even see it. Okay guys, we're going to put some screws in to secure the new bottom, and I've bought these sheetrock screws. They're 1 1/4 inch, and these are exact replacements for the type of screws that this cabinet was previously put together with. I didn't know they just use sheetrock screws, but if you look at the original screws, I have some in the house, they're exactly like this. They have two lengths. They have some that are about 1.5 inches, maybe closer to 2 inches, and then they have these 1.25 inches. So I bought a whole box of 1.25 inches. We're going to use that for most of the assembly of the cabinet. And I've got a drill bit ready in my cordless drill. And I picked a drill bit that is just a little bit smaller than the shank of this screw. So the threads extend out way past what the pre-drilled hole is going to. It's going to get a really good bite, but it's not going to tear the wood or crack it too much. I like to go a little bit smaller. A lot of people get a drill bit that's the exact same size as the shaft of the screw, but I like to go just a little smaller to make it a little tighter connection. Okay guys, I've went ahead and measured, and what we're having to do, since the drill is so big that if you drill straight down you're not going to hit the support underneath here, we've made a line about 1/2 inch, not exactly a line, but we've got marks about 1/2 inch from the wall of the cabinet, and we're going to go in kind of at an angle and pre-drill and run our screws in so that we get a bite on the supporting piece underneath here. There we go. Very good. Now let's do the other side. Well, here we go, guys. We got our new bottom in. Everything looks really good. All the screws went in good. We didn't have any run out on the bottom. And just to show you, I'll lean the cabinet forward. So all our screws went into the supporting wood underneath where it needs to be. And we got a nice looking new floor. A little bit of chipping right up here, but I think we can take care of that with a support right there for the new front. And looks great. Looks a whole lot better than the original piece of wood that had all that staining in it.